When you were born, you were handed at least one big bag of rubbish, of trash, of garbage. Now, before we get too dark and gloomy, of course you were also given other wonderful things. But let's get back to this bag of rubbish, as I'll call it. So, where did it come from, and did you get more than one? Well, it came from your parents, those who raised you, and you may have been given multiple bags of rubbish. So it's always hard to know. But if we just start with the one or two that you definitely will have been handed, and explore why that's so important that you know it, and how it might be freedom for you to know this. So the bag of rubbish that we get given is the stuff that our parent or parents really struggled with. So intergenerationally, what seems to get passed down again and again, I see from my work, my coaching, is I'm just not good enough. Deep down inside, however they showed up in the world, however we show up in the world, deep down inside, there's this core belief of not being enough, not being good enough, not feeling good enough. Now, on its own, that's a pretty ginormous bag of rubbish, because that's the stinkiest part of it. But then also in that bag of rubbish will be, I therefore need to try much harder. I will spend my life telling myself I'm stupid, that I irritate people, or I might have rubbish in there that means I blame other people when I feel like I'm not showing up in life the way I want to. There's a whole stinking bag of rubbish just around the feeling of I'm just not good enough as I am, which is the most common one, as I say, that I work with people around, because who wants to drag that bag of rubbish through their lives? And you may have already done so for many years, as did I. So good news, we like some good news. It's really possible without tipping all the contents of the bag of rubbish out in one go. So that's often what happens when we're talking about it. If we're working with somebody who's delving into the bag of rubbish and making us get it all out and look at it and face it down and all those kind of things, that's really not healthy or helpful. Or we may have the bag of rubbish that we are given a plan for it and a strategy. So this is how you are going to move beyond your bag of rubbish, and you're going to get up every day and you're going to look in the mirror and you're going to say I am good enough, and lots of things like that, affirmations, push, do the opposite, be very positive. That still won't get rid of the rubbish, it will just make it actually heavier to carry. So what is going to help? Well, what is going to help is what I do. So with you, we just very carefully peek into the bag of rubbish. We identify the biggest component, the biggest piece of rubbish. So in this case, that would be I'm not good enough. It doesn't matter how many successes I have in life, deep down I never feel good enough. So we work on that and we clean that up, clear it up, get rid of it. It's gone from your rubbish bag, and often the smaller things attached to it go too, and bit by bit you end up with a very empty rubbish bag that you can just literally get rid of and get such freedom, it's crazy. So if that sounds good and you are curious to know more about your rubbish bag and how the hell to get rid of it, please do drop me a message. I'm always happy to have a no-cost initial conversation so we can just explore what rubbish you might want to get rid of and what you want instead.